Yeah.
That fucker's got power. You got your film in it?
Yeah, I am.
Holy shit. That's fucking nuts. It ripped the motor mount loose.
It did?
Yeah. Well, let me explain to everybody what this is.
Alright guys, this is a 2000 GEM E4 4-seater GEM golf cart. It's running off 48 volts DC. I'm using a 3-phase AC induction motor by Curtis with a Curtis 650 amp controller. It uses 3-phase AC drive instead of the regular DC brush system. This is a brushless motor, and I believe it's 18 horsepower at 36 volts, and it is 36 horsepower at 48 volts at 650 amps. It is run through a standard GEM golf cart differential. As you can see here, I run what would have been the right front wheel is now the front drive shaft going to a Suzuki Samurai 1985 to 87 differential in the front. And what would have been the left front wheel is going to the rear axle, which is also a 85 to 87 Suzuki Samurai. It's built on a custom Ford Link double, I believe they call it triangulated suspension, custom built, running 14-inch Fox racing shocks, and just regular 48 volt golf cart batteries in series. Has the battery charger. But the gear ratio and the secret to this is the brushless motor is turning 8-to-1 gears that are inside this differential. Then that 8-to-1 goes down to the 373s in the front and in the back. Now, when you're in four-wheel drive, just these two spin at the same speed. When I put it in two-wheel drive, I will lock up the front differential hub. I will mount a disc brake right here, and that will stop this from spinning. I will unlock the hub. That will free up the whole front differential and allow this one to stop and this one to spin twice as fast. That will give me a speed of 40 miles an hour with 35-inch BFGs that are 12 inches wide. And the whole golf cart roughly weighs around, fully loaded with the windshield and the whole seats and everything as factory, would be around 1,800 pounds. It's a lot lighter than it was, and it's also heavier than it is from the factory. I'm sorry, it's heavier than it is from the factory, but not as much as you would think. All the steel that's used here is fairly thin wall, and using 3/4 inch Heims, and I believe it's 160 wall tubing, DOM. Everything's just tacked together right now, just for testing purposes. We will weld and finish it up after we're done with this. The 2 batteries up front are just for better weight distribution, and the 4 batteries in the back. I will mount a generator back here Honda 2000 UI or whatever it is that's the efficient one, and that will be hooked up to a battery charger that runs the 110 volt to 48 volt. Alright guys, I hope this helps everybody figure out how to do this. And oh, let me show you the steering system. The regular steering system I modified with a 2-to-1 gearbox that allows this one to turn twice compared to this one. That gives me a little bit of extra torque. It goes down to a chain system that runs a drive shaft all the way to this custom-made steering box that is for a off-road dune buggy. You can get these at a place called Seiko in California. They custom made this one for me because I wanted a little bit more travel than the stock one. They'll help you out, anything you need. They're great people. And that allows the steering gearbox to put all the linear force directly onto the axle instead of having the Z-bar that goes up and down to the chassis to the axle, and prevents any kind of movement or unnecessary suspension flex or deflection when you are steering. I can steer this and have no suspension articulation as a result of my steering inputs. Thanks.